You guys ready for story time? It's time for story time. So I guess I'll tell you about the time where I almost accidentally killed my cellie. So back in motherfucking 2012, back in jail. I'm in the Sacramento County Jail, which of course is no place for a white boy. Right? It's not your soft ass county jail wherever you guys are from. This is Sacramento County. It's the worst fucking jail in the whole state, behind maybe Alameda and Los Angeles. So Sacramento. So main jail. I'm in the cell. I don't have a cellie, so that means I'm going to be getting one at any time now. So I got to be up and ready, and because you never know who they're going to try to put in there, and you got to be ready to deal with that. So I'm sitting in the cell waiting. The cells are kind of big as far as like jail cells go. Next to the door, there's a button and a speaker. It's a little intercom to the police. You are not allowed to push that button under any circumstance unless you have a serious medical emergency. If you push that button for any other reason, to talk to the cops or ask them a question or anything like that, they'll come down to your cell and beat you up. Oh, but they can't do that. That's police brutality. They can't get away with it. Yes, they will come down to the cell and beat you up. They will drag you out of the cell after they've beaten you with sticks, and then they're going to fucking handcuff you to the railing and leave you out there all night long. Okay? And you're not going to do shit about it. So you don't push that button. Also, that speaker has a sensor inside of it, and the sensor is for like if the sound reaches a certain decimal, it'll trip the sensor, and then the police will immediately be able to listen in on what's going on in the cell. So in case like someone's dying or screaming really loud, that's kind of what it's for. It'll trip it. So I bring that up because it's relevant to the story. So anyways, I'm sitting there waiting, and then sure enough, some guy comes to the door, and he's got his bedroll with him. So I'm looking at him, and he was like a 55, 60-year-old guy, skinny and kind of frail, but he looked like he was one of those like racially ambiguous guys. He could have been white, he could have been Italian, he could have been Pakistani, he could have been Hispanic, he could have been Middle Eastern. Like I couldn't, like darker skin, dark hair. So the door pops, he comes in, he's like, "Hey, what's going on? My name's Bill." And I'm like, "Well, hang on a second. With all due respect, like, are you a white boy?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm white. I'm a gypsy. I'm like, okay. Well, yeah, sure. Come on in." I'm telling him about the cell. Well, I'm noticing that he's kind of an older guy. He's older than I am. So I'm like, "Oh, here, you know what? Let me move my stuff off the bottom bunk, and I'll let you have the bottom bunk, and I'll take the top." Out of respect. Usually, like, if you're worth the shit, you'll do that because you don't want an old man to have to get up and down the fucking top bunk. Not that this dude was an old man, but he was older than I was. But he's like, no, I like the top. I'm like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, I like the top bunk. I prefer it." And I said, "Okay, cool, great." So everything was going okay, but he was telling me these stories about how he's a gypsy and he travels around with all his gypsy friends and they run all these like scams on people and do all this dirtbag shit. I'm like, this guy's a fucking dirtbag, So I'm kind of getting tired of like hearing this bullshit he's talking about. But whatever. So if that's not annoying enough, I'd be sitting there like reading my book, and he would get down and he would pace back and forth. But if that's not bad enough, when he would like approach me, like, here, I have to demonstrate what he was doing. So when he would pace, he'd like look at me. He'd go like this. And look at me like that, like that, just like that. And I'm thinking, like, what is this guy doing? Like, what is he doing? Like, what? Because, like, does this mean something? Is he trying to intimidate me or something? Is he trying to, like, establish dominance or something? Because that's not going to fly. So I'm, like, pumping myself up in my head about it. And because I'm an idiot, And he keeps doing it. And I'm like, man, if he keeps doing it again, if he does it one more time, I'm going to do something. Oh, he just did it again. Okay, if he does it one more time, so I'm building myself up. So finally, I had enough. So I threw my book down and I jumped up and I grabbed him by the shoulders, and I just wanted to shake him a little bit and like yell at him, but I surprised him so bad and he like freaked out. He's like, ah! He started screaming and he falls backwards and I fall on top of him, right? And when that happened, he started screaming so loud. He's like, ah! Like it pierced my eardrum. Like it was like this shrill, high-pitched scream that was so loud. It like just like went straight to my anger. And just, I'm like, ah, and I just like grabbed his neck and like was like bonking his head on the ground. And I'm like, stop making noise and stop. He's like, why? And I said, you're pacing back and forth. And he's like, why? His head bouncing off the ground. I'm like, you're pacing back and forth. You're pissing me off. And he goes, I can't help it. And I'm like, just stop doing it. And I think that he thought I was like trying to really hurt him or something or kill him because he was like really freaking out. He's like, "Argh!" And he was flopping around. And I'm just trying to like get him under control because now I'm tripping that he's going to set off the alarm sensor and the cops are going to listen in on what's going on. And they're going to come in here. They're going to think I'm attacking him or something. And it's just going to be a big mess. So I'm like, hey man, calm down, calm down, calm down. He was like real slippery, like a fish out of water. And so I'm trying to like get off him and kind of just get myself situated. Well, because he was flopping around, he caused me to trip. And when I tripped, I fell on top of him again, and my knee landed like on like where his neck is, like right here. And all my weight went down right there. And all I heard was snap, crunch. And he went, I'm like, oh shit, I killed him. I jump off him. I'm looking at him. He's like, I'm like, oh, I fucked him up. Oh my God, he's dead. I was like, I was scared now. I'm like, oh my, hey man, you okay? He's like, and I'm like, oh, I killed him. And I'm freaking out. And then finally he kind of like stops and looks at me and goes, he jumps up and he's looking past me at the little button on next to the door, the one that you could summon the police with. And then he makes a break for it. So I'm like, no, hey. And I'm like going like this, like trying to get him because he's going to push the button and tell on me. I'm like, calm down, man. I'm not trying to hurt you. Just calm down. And I'm trying to like a football player, right? And so finally I just grab him, I spin him around and put him in a full Nelson and I said, calm down, just calm down. And I got him to calm down. I sat him down and said, just chill out, man. You're cool. I'm going to move you out of here. You're going to move somewhere else. You and me are cool. I wasn't trying to hurt you. I slipped. I fell on top of you. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to have it go like that. You were pacing back and forth. You were tripping me out. I'm sorry. My apologies. I didn't mean to hurt you. And I calmed him down and it was cool after that. And then I got him out of there. So, yeah, but that was the time when I almost killed myself.